What's the one thing that turns you on?
Is my mom gonna watch?
I'm sure we can make a plan.
Had a bet and I lost the bet, and the bet was, should you guys win, guaranteed orgy. Should you guys lose, then I don't even remember what it was, but yeah.
Can I ask a weird question? Do you like now use the toothbrush again on your teeth? Do that.
May I take your glasses out? Oh, mommy, please don't watch. That's all I'm asking.
No, yeah. Hi guys, we are back again on Hot Seat with Penzola. Welcome to my channel. We are still on the sex topic. It is such a broad subject, but guys, I don't know what it is about the subject. I think I get excited every time because, every episode I get, comments that say, let's have more and more of these conversations. And today's topic is still related to sex. I still have my favorite resident therapist, Kgomotso, and we are talking about what turns you on. And the guest that's going to join me and Kgomotso, who's our, professional in studio, is Kutloano. Kutloano, thank you so much for joining. What turns you on, girl? That is what we're talking about. And I guess everyone gets turned on differently, Mara. Your experience is the conversation today, and maybe somebody out there will relate to your experience. And if they do, guys, comment, ask the questions. And if you don't relate and your experience is probably the opposite, we welcome the different perspectives. Please do comment, and let's engage. Let's have an interactive discussion around this. Where do I start? People are attracted to people for different reasons. And, what's the one thing that turns you on?
Is my mom gonna watch?
I'm sure we can make a plan.
Crazy enough, weird enough, an empath. Like, you need to be so in touch with your emotions, not per se your emotions, but you need to be in touch with your emotions. And somebody who's really spontaneous. You really need to be spontaneous.
Okay.
Literally.
That literally.
It's actually your mind above all else.
Okay.
Body really doesn't matter to me.
So you are a mom, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay. And we all know that, well, those of us that have kids, we all know that the spontaneity around sex kind of does get a little bit disturbed when there's kids or, so how do you not, how do you then improvise if we almost have to plan the deed? I know over spontaneous because you can do it no matter Mari, when there are circumstances where you need to plan it, how do you then navigate through that?
Weirdly enough, basically, in a nutshell, honestly speaking, it's always when Renzo's sleeping. Like, Renzo goes to bed between 8 and 9. So between 9 and when she wakes up,
Anything can happen.
Anywhere, anytime. Just anywhere, anytime.
So what's the wildest sexual secret or fantasy you want to indulge in, at least, once in your lifetime?
From my thought pattern.
Hey,
But yeah.
you can take a sip, girl. It's all right.
Take your glasses out. Oh, mommy, please don't watch. That's all I'm asking.
No, yeah.
Okay, well, truthfully speaking, I'd like to believe, unless there's something else out there, I'd like to believe I've lived out all my fantasies, everything that I wanted to do.
Oh, interesting. What are those?
Okay, while growing up, well, it probably still is there, but it's hidden because I'm now a mom. I'm bi, always been bi. The female body is amazing. The female body is, sorry man, but the female body is amazing.
You don't have to apologize for that.
But yeah. I've done new threesomes, I've dated girls. I've actually had a situation where I had a bet and I lost the bet, and the bet was, should you guys win, guaranteed orgy. Should you guys lose, then I don't even remember what it was, but yeah.
Was it like a bet on a game?
soccer match.
Was a soccer match? Oh
Paris
wow!
and Chiefs.
Oh wow! Like really, Kutloano?
Chiefs.
And you bet on Chiefs?
No, I actually bet on Pirates.
Ah! Okay, and then
Yeah.
Pirate lost.
Yes.
And then the OG happened.
Yes.
Oh wow!
Two guys actually walked in and literally freaked out and walked out. I'd like to mention them. May I guess?
No,
But
don't.
yeah.
But so you did both of them at the same time?
No, it wasn't. It was one guy. It was supposed to be three guys and four girls. It was one guy and three girls.
So all three of you,
Yes.
La Mudira.
Well, I was more with the moment than him. Like I could give t-shirts because I really, excuse my language, because I really love the female body. But yeah,
Yeah. Wow.
I still applaud him till today.
Sure. Kgomotso, come in there. Come in there, Kel. Like, what is this? What? I'm loving this conversation. Like, the fantasy. Like, how many people actually live their sexual fantasies? Like, she's one of a kind, right?
Yeah, I think there's quite a few. There's actually, King, we all, like you said, people are turned on by different things.
Yeah.
And the human mind is extraordinary. We can imagine a lot of things, but then society happens. And then it becomes a thing of, but this is not normal.
It's not normal, but
It's
like,
not allowed. What would people say if they knew?
but who defines
But then
normal?
the thing, at the end of the day, it's whatever happens behind closed doors, who cares? As long as it makes you happy, it makes other person happy, and nobody gets hurt. Do you?
You are both?
Fly on the ceiling if you must, the chandeliers.
Lalela.
Let's go. As long as at the end of the day, all the parties involved, you are consenting. It's fun. You are enjoying. You're all getting what you want from it, and nobody gets hurt.
Wow. Back to you, madam, with your fantasies. Then, yeah, so the female body, you buy, you do this orgy. What else? What else has been...
Would you like me to go into detail when it comes to female?
You can. You please do.
Please do.
Please do.
I think that you must want to know.
Please do.
I've always believed and I've always said that as a woman, you know how you want to be touched and how you... And men have this tendency of thinking that even if you guys are just fucking, like you guys just have a situationship, whereas men have this concept that what they see on porn is what needs to be done. Especially when a man goes down and you like, relax. That is the most sensitive part of my entire body. Like, chill. You don't need to be roughhousing that. So I've always...
So it shouldn't be a replica of what you see in porn.
That's the worst sex you actually have. I'm just okay, personally.
Well, I think in our very first conversation, Kgomotso, you will remember that we did speak about how porn is also staged. It's also a movie, right? Yeah. Like any other movie that you watch, like an action movie, it's all staged. So it's not a reality of how sex is experienced in any way, right?
But why don't men get that?
I don't know. Maybe we should try get a male guest on the show. I mean, I don't know. But back to the detail of the female body.
No, but honestly speaking, and it's just one of those that I think the vagina is beautiful in all its layers, and also very good in taste. It is. Whereas with the male penis, it's just the simple with the balls, the dick, and there's nothing more. Whereas with the female, you can indulge in the different layers that are there. I pray to God my mom does not watch that.
You keep saying that.
Saying that, yeah.
You see, and this is why hot sit exists, guys. Because if there's a worry, I suppose because it's your mom, I totally get it. But you know,
I'll probably.
I have a lot of guests where there's so much worry around what people want to see out there, and as much as that's probably that is controlled by society and its perceptions, one should never worry about what they have to say about their experiences. But anyway, that's a topic for another day, guys. Back to the sex. I must ask you, so I suppose, and I'm assuming, because you're such a liberal person when it comes to your sexuality, you've experienced a lot of things. Which sex toys have you experimented with so far?
And weirdly enough, honestly speaking, when it comes to sex toys, none.
Oh, really? That's interesting. I'm surprised. Yeah.
The reason is I have a very addictive nature. So if I get a dick the size that I want and it vibrates at different settings, I am literally screwing myself over. But I have experimented with the electric toothbrush.
Ah,
Just
electric toothbrush.
in
Okay.
my 20s,
Explain that to me.
in my
Like the
20s,
front parts of the.
yes.
Oh my word. Like parati.
No, not parati.
Oh, but like peripherals. Okay.
And that's when I actually discovered that I can actually scratch. Hey,
Hey.
no man has ever gotten me. They're just saying.
Wow.
Do you want to comment on that?
She's like
I'm
everyone's,
so sorry.
you know, the fantasy, like she squats.
But only with an electric toothbrush.
Not with a, yeah.
Not manually from another person. Wow, shame. They're
It's
missing
a,
out.
I know it's a shame. But
Can I ask a weird question? Do you like now use the toothbrush again on your teeth?
on my
After absolutely,
all
yeah.
me.
Wow.
But it is all me.
Correct. But you know,
I guess you wash it and you rinse it.
it's electric, by the way.
Mouthwash,
Yeah,
mouthwash,
yeah,
you rinse
yeah.
it, you use it, it's fine, I guess.
Wow. Yo. Hey! Guys, this
Penny is speechless.
this needs a toast, honey.
Don't try it at home.
Like I usually toast at the end, but this, aye, Zawa. Wow. So while having sex, do you prefer getting on top, staying down, and like? Okay, I'm not even sure why I'm asking you this, but like, talk to us about your preference. So both male and female, because you're such, you are that being. When you're with a woman, what's your preference? And when you're with a guy with a dick, what is your preference in the sex activity?
Every time I've ever dated a girl or been with a girl, I'd always either have a guy I'm dating then or an ex because they need to be there to finish off the job. But preferably laying down, on top, I love doggy.
With the dick.
Yes.
And okay.
Yes, please. With females, hence why I'm always saying that should it be me and man, there needs to be a third party to join in. I can't just be with you. And also, I'm not about the strap-ons and
That's interesting though, right? That's interesting though, because I can imagine the logistics of when you are with a woman and dating a woman at the time, there's always needs to be a guy that must finish the job. You know, he's just there to just like end the race. Because the woman has started, wabaphizi, wabalit,
That's his shit.
and then makaqeda vele angene athi aqedelele. So awuqedeleli, can you not qedelela with the chick? Can she, with the woman, with another, does she not make you come, or what is it?
Even if you do, there's always that craving.
For the dick.
And I just don't want to tap into the vibrations because it's going to be over for me.
And the people you've been with are okay with the two of them being this at your service, I guess?
I actually once got dumped because of a girl.
Because no batlangwanyana ka mo khonale
Nabandumile ho ke lo shelela a friend.
wena wa ishelela wena self.
And she was hot.
Wa mo dira.
And I got dumped.
Yo.
I actually didn't think that it would have been an issue, in all honesty.
Yeah.
Why didn't you think it would not be an issue?
Isn't it every guy's fantasy? Like, I'm just asking.
Well,
Yeah.
Hi guys.
There's your answer.
there's your answer. My production says it is. It is.
Fantasy.
But I wonder if it's just a fantasy, right? So if you meet a guy that really wants a relationship with you long term, how do you see that playing out with this requirement of a female body and the pussy being really great?
I think maybe because I was younger, I haven't indulged since I've been a mother. But
Do you see yourself going back
no.
post being a mother?
If it's just a fling, not relationship,
Basadi ba tena ne?
they're too demanding. I can't.
Sure,
I've got a child, I've got 4 dogs, I can't.
sure.
No, females are demanding.
Yo, ultra from another female.
From a woman.
You know, my husband always says, "Yo, basadi ba lapisa yong," and I'm thinking, I'm so glad I don't have a wife. Like I'm really glad because I can't explain. Yeah, I can't explain what he's going through, but clearly he's going through something. Yeah. So you are then saying you won't end up with a woman.
No.
So if you end up with a guy at some point, you, do you trust yourself not to cheat with another woman?
Yes.
Okay.
No.
So what turns you on about a woman?
A woman.
Yeah.
Um,
Is it still the same there's still the same
it's
answer?
just send intellect, how you speak. Like you need to be playful. You need to be able to be you. Like like allow yourself to be you. And just I think it's more above all else. It's how you can not it's not even how you conduct yourself. Geez, you could be a drunkard or like it. It's just how your mind works with certain things.
Sure.
That's just it.
Let me ask you a question. In our first episode, Kgomotso, you remember we spoke about the anus and how that was a muscle. Well, if you haven't watched the episode, please go and watch it, where Kgomotso explains the detail around that muscle. Have you had anal sex? Kutloano?
Yeah.
I'm here. I'm here.
answered you.
I'm here.
She answered you already.
And talk to us about that. Can you come from anal
Yes,
sex?
you can.
Is it any different when you're coming from when it's in the other side?
It's a different feeling altogether. It really is, and especially if it's
Wow.
anal and he's literally playing with the clit.
Sure.
It's amazing. It really is, truthfully speaking. Haven't done it since I've been a mom. Like being a mother.
So being a mother just changes everything, right? But why is that? Kgomotso, tell us. Does that speak to the desire or?
Your priorities change. You have this little person who's dependent on you. That overrides everything. It's not that she still doesn't have those feelings and she doesn't think about it.
You just think of them.
But there's
20
this
years
person
from now.
who's taking. This person needs you more than your own needs and your fantasies, and so your focus shifts. And it does. It's just your focus is shifted.
Sure. Now tell me, during your pregnancy, let's go back to the time that you were pregnant and your sexual needs. How did that shift? What was the shift? Because I think you keep mentioning that you haven't done certain things since you being a mom. I want to speak about that 9 months that you were pregnant. What was your sexual needs and what sex were you having during that time?
Me.
Huh?
He annoyed me.
So the dick annoyed you?
No, he annoyed me.
That particular person. But what sex were you having?
He annoyed me.
So you didn't have sex?
When I'm annoyed, I'm more mental than as soon as I get into my emotions and I'm annoyed.
So you didn't have any sex until you gave birth?
I don't even remember.
Wow.
That's bad. But yeah, even afterwards, I think it was probably 7 months. Because I was just annoyed. It's crazy. Like, I was just annoyed. And I think maybe because I kind of had a hard pregnancy, so I was just annoyed.
And do you think that your relationship with sex and how you view it and what your fantasies are related in any way, and how you grew up and how you were introduced to sex and what your knowledge was about sex previously?
Honestly, the introduction wasn't an introduction per se. Because of the schools we went to, we had the sex education but in standard 4, my mom actually got me a book on STIs and sex and reproduction, and so you read because what happened? You're about to be a teenager, your hormones are starting to rage, so I'd read about such. But with the liberal part of it all, I think because I've always been given leeway at home to grow into who I am. And yeah, I think I grew a bit too much into who I am. But yeah, I was just one of those that
You are who you are.
were just given that leeway.
And do you find that you lead, your the type of sex you want to have when you are with the partner? Tell me what your role is there. Like, are you the leader or you're like, oh, take me, I'm here, do me as you please?
I'd never allow a man to make me weak.
Ah.
So take me as I am and do as you please. No. I was raised by a very independent woman, so I stand my ground. My mom is extremely feisty, and I've got that in me. I will allow it for probably the first 30 or the first date, but I don't allow a man to make me weak. Like, I can't.
Why do you think that it, yeah.
Crazy enough, it's because
yeah.
I wear, especially in a relationship, I wear my heart on my sleeve. I literally wear my heart on my sleeve. So I've given you my heart. You can't take the rest of me because you're gonna break me. Like,
What do you say to someone like that in your
So,
session?
I'm just wondering, like, you're so free spirited, but then there's this wall, there's this bound. It's like, I'll give you all of me up to this point, but this is where I keep my, this part is strictly for me. I need to hold on to some of my power at this.
I'm not going back there.
So why? That's what I'm saying. For me, it speaks to some sort of sensitivity, right?
Like she just said, now
I'm
she had a heart broken, so since then she just put up this wall.
In standard 9, you are old man. You work at standard 9. Mara ba o break so ka standard 9. Wow.
You too much in there. You left too much.
I know what's there.
Kimang, oh. Okay.
Then, like, my grandfather spoke me out of the heartbreak, and then ever since then, there's a wall. Like, there's a wall because I always seemingly go for guys that aren't for me. Like, it's a very bad habit. Bob the Builder, teach you how to love, and blah blah blah. So I can never fully immerse myself in that relationship because you're not what I want full term. You're what I want at the moment. That sounds so wrong.
No, it doesn't sound wrong. It's, for
But
me,
it's the truth.
yeah. So I've got a weird question, right? So, growing up and you learn about sex and STIs and whatever, then you also learn about the different types of sex. I know there's ones that they call S&M, which is one where they beat you up and it's like pain is great, whatever. Then there's one that they speak about which is called bestiality, which is like people sleeping with dogs and stuff. That's like weird shit, right? So, and I'm asking you this, because it seems to you that the sky's the limit when it comes to sex and the type of things you want to experience. Though you say you've experienced all your life fantasies and your secrets, where is this sex journey taking you? Where are you going with the sex thing? Like, what else do you want to try?
Weirdly enough, during my 30s, I don't know if it's a hormonal thing. I think I'm not interested. Like, men don't,
And you've got a child.
And now my hormones are raging. Does it happen when you come to your 40s? My hormones
So,
are raging.
you're being skimona.
Raging.
Wow.
From the window to the wall.
So are you currently having sex? What type of sex are you having currently?
So, been speaking for a bit, and a visit turned to something else.
Tell us. Turned into what?
Oh, wow.
Was it a male or female?
No, it was a male.
Was a male.
No,
Okay,
it was a male.
okay.
It was a male. And that's the thing. The intellect, how he speaks, the playfulness, it's just there. And because we can just, we can just relate to someone. Because I'm 39. I still act like I'm 12. And like, I'm literally so playful, and he's just the same. And
So what is this? What does it do to you? What's this playfulness that it does to you?
you know how much I live by? Like, you just sit there and you're like, I can't believe you. Like, he says the darnest of things, but it's sweet. Like, I find sweetness in being an idiot. It's crazy. But it's just, he's a sweetheart. It's how he speaks to me, I think, above all else. It's just what he says and how he says it.
And what does he do? I know he says stuff, which then turns you on. Tell us about what he does to you.
Oh, no, it's only happened once.
Oh, it's only happened once?
Yeah, we only just started speaking. I'm not going to do the whole sleep party 90 days. Like, I'm not trying to be in a relationship, but
You just want the sausage.
Not necessarily with the intellect. Like, can we have conversation? Yes, I understand we just grew, but can we have the conversation?
It's interesting that you say, sorry, I probably cut you there. I interviewed one of my other guests, and they spoke about what sex means to them. They spoke about, sex is just not a separate thing. Sex, there's an intimate thing, there's emotions. Like, they spoke about how they're not going to let someone touch their private parts because it's almost as if they're touching their heart,
But
So,
there's
So if you're speaking about intellect, it does speak to somehow some sort of connection. So are you saying that if somebody doesn't stimulate you mentally, you're not gonna get wet and have sex with them?
It's oh my God. Like honestly speaking, like if we can't have a conversation or converse about any topic, like
And do you masturbate?
oh yes, oh no, Mrs. Palmer and her 5 daughters, one eye,
Baspana.
one eye. You know they can do it.
How often do you masturbate?
Depending, PMS, ovulation, I abuse her, unfortunately, but it's just then. It's usually during PMSing and ovulation. Like the week, yeah, I PMS wherever in the day. Yeah, she literally does get abused.
And the climax, is it different to
It
when you...
depends on how my mood is, but I can get there in 30 seconds, I can get there in 5 minutes, depending on mood for the day. And if I get distracted, then you need to start again. Such a mission.
Sure.
No, I'm just listening to it. I'm in my head.
I'm
just like
come in
wow,
there.
you know, it's so nice and to find people who are free and open to being themselves and owning who they are. Because as much as she's always just been saying, I hope my mother doesn't see this. But I think you've turned into the person your mother wanted you to turn into. You are free to be yourself.
I agree with that. It's just that I don't, the details.
Yeah.
So do you then enjoy like these type of clients in your
They
sessions?
make life easy. And it's not a lot to work with because she already knows herself. She already knows what she wants from life and she's there. Maybe it's just she just needs assistance more, but she's got to figure it out. And if more people just owned up, I think one thing that you that just came to mind as well is when you're talking about being bi and your interactions with both male and female, it just raised a question. Society, most people, when we talk about being bi, then they're like, this is just an excuse to.
You must choose which one you want. Yeah, you can eat it too. Yes,
people don't
yes.
quite get the idea of, but then how can you want both a man and a woman? Because you did say, even though you with the woman, you still
want the guy
an
to
itch.
finish off.
So maybe just to elaborate a bit more on that or then, so so that the viewers understand how does that work
Yeah.
for you. Is that, and that's just for you. It's not the general thing where all bi people want that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
No, it's just, do you know what? I think it's the very same way when a man goes down on you. The clitoral stimulation is amazing and all, but you still want the penetration. And I'm not about strapping and straps and I honestly don't want the vibrations because they are going to mess me over. Like, I'll never date.
You want the real muscle of joy.
I'll never date.
And like I said, she's got herself figured out. She knows herself. She knows what works for her and what doesn't work for
And
her.
also, men also need to learn to be comfortable in their own skins. Like, you know how men don't want their asses touched and like rimming is amazing. Like, allow me to explore your body. Like,
Wow.
Don't hinder me anywhere. And honestly, wax first, but don't hinder me in doing anything. Like, allow me.
So how many men have you done rimming on? Oh. Let's talk about that. Okay.
You serious want numbers?
No, we're not gonna go numbers. But you've done rimming and you enjoy it, and the men that you did it with, do they love it?
They freak out at first. Man, because guys have that as a person.
I really would like. I really would like to have a man, on this topic, guys, so that we can explore these things properly. Because I feel like I'm only getting one side of the story, and it's a great side of the story, by the way. But I just feel like there's a missing puzzle, and yeah, men, please talk to me. I know I've been begging and asking you. You are shy. Let's talk about this rimming. Zwala, Prwami. And then let's chat, It's a comfortable space. Well, can't say it's safe because it's out there, but
Yeah, no, I think when it comes to rimming, the issue is with men is as much as they enjoy it, unfortunately there's still that stigma that says only gay men enjoy having their anus touched.
And the men will
Abafundi
just,
vele, abafundi
That's
nge-S yabo
why they have
labantu.
an issue with that area, and those who do enjoy it, they really come out and say, I do enjoy it. They don't want to own up to it because they think, but now does that make me gay? No, it doesn't make you
It doesn't
gay.
make you gay.
Like I said previously, the anus is a muscle. It's got nerve endings, there's nerves in there. So that's why you enjoy it. That is why it's enjoyable.
Could there be a G-spot there?
There is.
It matters that you
There is.
as
There is.
3 centimeters in next to the prostate.
Yo.
It is.
Hey, akupuzweni.
How about we interview you next? You try it. You go try it today, and then they interview you.
Ah, man, I love having chosen this topic. It's just like, it's informative. Like, you should see my shock, guys. It's like, and I'm shocked not necessarily only from what I'm hearing from my guests, but just the comfortability and just being liberal about it. For me, it's exciting. I mean, you have an opportunity of a professional that's sitting with us here. Any questions that you would, during any other of your sex conversations or sex, thoughts about sex, any other specific question that you would have wanted to ask a professional? She's here. Let's ask her.
Because I normally have my mom. It's actually just this. Like,
Yeah.
how do I allow the next person into my personal space? It's one of those that screw me, break my heart, it's cool. But if you're going to be a part of my daughter's life, and as soon as you have not an attitude, Mara, if it's a complete turn off. Like, I won't even entertain you any further. I'm like understanding one of the thing. Whether I wanted you for 6 months, like at that point in time, it's a fun. Like, how do I get out of mom mode? Except for after that, like after 9, actually. But how do I get out of mom mode even during? Like, I'll cancel on you for her and her friends. Like, that's the biggest problem that I have. Otherwise,
Yeah, I think that's a bit of a toughie because when it comes to being a parent, whether you're a dad or you're a mom and you've been doing this thing by yourself, of course your child comes first. And letting another person into that space, but you can't just let anybody willy-nilly in because first and foremost, you have to protect your child. You don't want your child getting attached to somebody who then next week they are gone. You don't want, when you as an adult, you can deal with the roller coaster of emotions, but your child, that's something different. So you do that at your own pace. You decide how and when you let somebody in.
it's been 6 years.
Yeah, but still, but then the thing is that when you get to a point and you finally decide, you know what, actually, I think now I'm okay with doing this by myself. I want somebody. Now you make that mental shift to say, I think I'm ready. I want to have a partner for me. It's not necessarily that you're looking for a father for your
I'm
child.
not looking for a
Yeah,
father.
you want somebody for you. You want a life partner. Then that's when you have to now maybe see someone, go for therapy for yourself, or go with your partner to say, then this is where we are. Then how do we navigate this next chapter in
how
our
do we
life?
transition?
Yeah, how do you transition? And this is where I'm stuck. So how do I move past this thing that's just in my way of letting me let this person in 100%?
So, I mean, the one question I have for you before I wrap up is, this for me has been the wildest and most interesting conversation about sex, right? And you've experienced it, you're bold, and I like that. So I want to then understand, there's probably other people in your circle that know about your sexual activities, that know about who you've slept with and what you've done with who. Is there a connotation or a stigma, or do you have a reputation? Because you know how it is with our society. Unale reputation, and it's funny how we take English words and make them our own. Har reputation, we all know what that means.
Do I have a reputation? I don't know. Like, I don't know. Probably. Do I care? No. Do you put food on my table? No.
Are you considered promiscuous?
Even if I have no idea, probably, and it's okay. Yeah, Kgomotso. It is mine. Like, I'm just one of those that I think I have this mentality that I really don't care what the next person thinks or says. If there's a group of guys and had sex with 3 of them, they came. My job is done. Because females don't come as quick as men. Sometimes we don't even come at all, so I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But I
Wow.
really don't care what the next person has to say. Not at all. And I think maybe that's a problem, but I don't.
Wow.
I really don't care.
Look, you don't have to care.
I really
just
don't.
and there's this particular reason I'm asking this question because I know we are dealing with a society that deems normal to be
I've dated
something
best
else.
friends.
So you've dated and slept with best friends,
Yes.
and they knew about it.
Yes, they're still friends till today.
Mm.
It ended, but they became friends again.
So unaloba
friends
jwetsa o ba fe feedback le compare di notes gore e ne le jwang.
Since I came and say, oh, wanantele.
Then o mo jwetse.
Then I'll lay it out.
I'm sure they also compare notes, and they must. I mean, if they're still friends today.
Probably.
All right.
They shop us Cuba, so
Wow.
sounds very wrong.
Guys, no, it doesn't sound wrong at all, but it's for me, it's really just about your experience and how you've experienced it. And I think, firstly, thank you so much for sharing who you are on my show. Must probably not have been easy, but it was definitely an insightful conversation for me. Yeah, it was interesting, and Kgomotso, I saw you light up as you're speaking because
like,
this was fun for you.
I'm in awe. Where normally you hear stories like this out there in the media, but usually it's white people. It's not people who look like me who is owning their sexuality.
No, there she is.
owning.
She's owning
And
it.
yeah, she is.
I crushed on her.
She did.
Yeah, so it's refreshing. It's just nice. So I think then it will also help somebody else out there who's sitting there, in like say, this is what I'm feeling, but I'm not sure if it's okay.
I'm not even sure whether I can communicate it.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
now they're
yeah.
like, oh, there's somebody. She looks like me.
Yeah.
She's okay.
And
She looks
she's
normal.
owning it. She's owning
She
it.
looks normal. She's not crazy.
Well,
So
ladies,
I don't know.
it's been a great conversation, and
Thank you for
cheers.
having me. Yeah,
Oh wow, I'm loving this conversation,
Tutorial.
guys. Let's talk more and more about sex because it is a subject that we live with on a daily basis. But I think for me, guys, you've all heard it. Kutloano is bold, she's liberal, she speaks boldly about what her experience is and what she would like to, what she would like to experience moving forward. But I think the purpose of having this conversation is really just to make it, one, normalize the conversation about sexuality and about freedom and about preference. Two, it's really just also about understanding in the same way that we understand that we're all different in terms of being who we are, what we like, and just that allowance and not box people and call them names because of their preference in terms of sexuality. And this preference does not only speak to sexuality. We find ourselves as a society boxing people and naming people because of preferences, whether religion, whether anything else that they choose to go with. So let's normalize being who we are. That's really what I'm taking away from here. What works for me doesn't work for the next person, and be okay with that. Don't try and conform people to your way of thinking and saying, no, you only have sex with men. Hey man, have sex with whoever. Have sex with toys. Have sex with anything. With toothbrushes. I mean, it happens. So it's been an awesome conversation. Please drop that note, comment, and like. And if you're not subscribed yet, guys, I'm not sure why you're not subscribed. It's season 4. Please click that subscribe button. Ask the questions to our resident therapist, who's a professional. If you want a session with her, her contact details on screen. Or if you have a question for Kutloano, by all means, ask the question. She'll be on the lookout and she will answer in the same honesty way that she has been on the show. She is who she is. It's been real. We're out. Cheers. Have you tried running or Sesi on? Oh, okay, so shoot someone.
Shoot me.
Shoot.
Hot seat with Penzola.
Wow.
No stress.
Tired.
Sex episode. Blooper!
I'm not. If I see the blooper.
Can you give the blooper? Sila?
Just say.
Oh.